A very good morning to you. You're watching the Channel M Breakfast Show. What a morning we're having here on Wednesday, the 11th of February. I'm Nikki Dean.
And I'm Byron Evans. In a few minutes, the latest sports headlines with Mike Bradley. But first, forget the swap shop. We've got Cheggers' Chip Shop, and 8 out of 10 Mancunians know this man, Jason Manford. Former City Life Comedian of the Year, TV presenter, radio broadcaster, and then, of course, the TV great that is Cheggers.
That's it. A double whammy this morning. We're honoured. Thanks, chaps.
He's everywhere at the moment, aren't you? All over the country.
Well, we're like a double at me and Cheggers now,
I think we should go on tour.
I agree.
I could sell the chalk ices in the middle.
You heard it here first.
I could sell chips in the middle.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Now, there are some very special reasons why you're with us this morning, aside from dropping in for a brew and a quick chat. Keith, National Chip Week.
Yeah, National Chip Week. I'm touring the country, delivering the Perfect Portion Award for the best chips in the world. We've got people to nominate on the website. We've got loads of calls. Got our chip inspector down to various outlets up and down the country.
What an awesome job.
It's a fantastic job. And today we're actually awarding the perfect portion to a chippy in this area. So it'll all be disclosed around about 12 o'clock today.
And Jason...
you couldn't sort the chippy out near me, could you?
Is it good?
It's all right, but every time I go in, for my dinner, they're shut for dinner. What are you doing?
What's that all about?
Closed for dinner. I know, I've come for my dinner. Winds me up.
Well, Jason, you've taken time out from dominating the airwaves and the TV at the moment. You're on tour.
I am on tour, yeah. Started last September and finished in April. It's about 40 weeks. I could have had a baby, effectively. So, yeah, it's all right, though. It's good. It's been good fun.
You're going to be at the Lowry on the 8th of March.
Yep.
And you're filming a DVD in September at the Apollo as well, so that'll be worth getting to.
Yeah, that should be good fun, that. I've made it a bit cheaper as well, because credit crunch.
Yeah.
And...
You're a good lad, aren't you?
I know, well, I'm always thinking.
And some free chips.
Keith's going to come along, yeah. He's doing the opening 10.
Yeah, outside. Brilliant. Hey, I've got to get in the birthday mention.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Harry Waterfall. He's 11 today, so happy birthday to Harry. Say a happy birthday to Harry.
Happy birthday, Harry.
Do you know what? He'll be well chuffed. Yes, Baron and I to do it, but I'll tell you what, move over us two. We've got two real celebrities in the house. He'll be bragging all day at school this morning. I've got one pressing question for you, though, Keith, before you go, because this has provoked a lot of conversation, Chips. Why do they taste better out of the paper? Do you know?
Do you know? Or in the paper.
In the paper.
In the paper. Oh, my gosh. Well, that's what I do. I go to our local chippy and we come home and we just leave it in the paper and eat it on the table. It's fantastic. But I don't know, you see. I mean, my favourite sort of chip outlet has got to be, you know that one in Blackpool, Harry Ramsden?
Yes, the original.
Oh, there's nothing better than going in there, getting a portion of chips, salt and vinegar, sitting on the seafront, watching the world go by.
Oh, Keith, my belly is rumbling. We have to leave it there for the time being. It's a pleasure having you in, sir.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Jason's going to be back at 8:45. We'll be talking about his new tour. And after, we've got plenty more to come on this morning's show. But right now, let's get the latest news with James.
Good morning. Let's check the main headlines for you so far. This Wednesday, a coroner has written to the Alexandra Hospital in Cheadle to raise concerns after the death of a 57-year-old man following a triple heart bypass. Sean Jackson's inquest has been told he died of heart failure just a few hours after the operation. But the court was told the standard of notes written about him by medical staff was shambolic and the on-call surgeon and anaesthetist lived 40 miles away, adding a delay to the time before emergency treatment could be performed. More details have come out about a woman found murdered at a house in Salford. Claire Wood had been given extra security by an organisation that supports abused women after she'd received threats. A car belonging to George Appleton, who police want to question over her death, has now been recovered and is being examined. Her badly burnt body was found at her house on St Simon Street last week. Ministers say they're going to reject new advice to downgrade ecstasy from Class A to Class B. The organisation that advises the government on such changes has suggested the move. At the moment, anyone caught dealing the drug could be jailed for life, ranking it alongside heroin, LSD and crack. A new high-speed rail link joining Manchester to 3 other major cities could be built if the Tories come to power. The new lines to London, Birmingham and Leeds are being suggested to improve the country's train network. The Conservatives say current services suffer from chronic overcrowding. It's expected figures will confirm later that there are now more than 2 million people who are unemployed. Tens of thousands have lost their jobs in recent weeks. If the rise is confirmed, it'll be the first time that threshold has been passed since Labour came to power 12 years ago. Lancashire County Cricket Club have named Peter Moores as their new head coach. He's been given a 3-year contract with the hope of putting an end to 75 years without winning the championship. It's just over a month since he was dumped as England's coach. We'll have more on that in the sport with Mike in just a few minutes. Next, how much would you spend on a good new suit? If you're going bespoke, it can be quite pricey. But when one tailor in Manchester city centre got an order for a £5,000 suit made of gold cloth, even he was surprised. So we sent Ben Bland, who else, to go and see how it measures up.
Suits you, sir? Well, when the cloth is woven with 22-carat gold, you'd certainly hope so. James Personal Tailor has been selling bespoke suits in Manchester since 1973, most of them costing between £700 and £1,000 each. But this order has set a new record for them.
It was about 6 months ago when I actually shown him the cloth, because we haven't had it in stock that long. We've shown it a few customers, but obviously with a price tag around about £5,000, there's not going to be, a huge, queue out the door for it. So this gentleman, we did show it to him, and I could tell he was interested, but he was just saying he had a few deals coming off lately business-wise, and he wanted to see how they were going to come off before he placed the order.
It's all very well if you've got the cash to splash, but how much would you spend on a good suit?
Probably about £200, I think.
200?
Yeah.
Would you ever pay as much as 5,000?
No, I don't think so. No.
£500, 500 at the most.
There's a suit that's just been ordered, made out of gold cloth.
It'd have to be. It'd have to be, and somewhere else, and it'd have to be gold.
Spending £5,000 on a gold suit during a recession may seem somewhat extravagant. But there is a theory that at a time of economic downturn, people, especially in the city and in business, are even more concerned about looking successful to inspire confidence. Indeed, this tailor's has seen a 25% increase last month on the same period last year, making it one of their best ever Januaries. But when you're a tailor cutting cloth that's woven with gold, the pressure is really on.
You've got to watch it, really, and you don't want to cut any corners. It's got to be an absolute, perfect suit.
They'll start work on the suit this week, and it should be ready for the customer to pick up in 6 weeks' time. And I'm sure whoever he is, in his £5,000 suit, he'll cut a very fine figure indeed. Ben Bland, Channel N News.
That's it from me for this morning. I'll be back with the Channel M lunchtime news at 12 noon, and you can also join Andy Crane from 5 tonight for a full roundup of the day's main news. Now, though, here's Byron and Mike with the sport.
Could 75 years of hurt for Lancashire County Cricket Club be over? As the major headline on the back page of the MEN this morning is Moores' mission. Peter Moores has just got himself a new job.
Yeah, 47 years of age, under absolutely no pressure at all. We've not won the championship for, as we say, 75 years. He's got 3 years to do it. I think he will do it in his second year, certainly not in his first. He was England coach until early January. He didn't particularly cover himself in glory with the England job, but then again, you can name on the fingers of one finger the number of England cricket managers who have done a good job there. He guided Sussex to the first county championship in 164 years in 2003, and if they've waited 164, I don't mind waiting another year till we get our hands on the trophy. So good appointment, and we'll have more from him in tomorrow's programme.
Well, there's one team that demands instant success, and you get the boot if you don't give it. Of course, I'm talking about Chelsea.
Yeah, and we've just heard this morning Gus Hiddink will be appointed this morning, a 4-month contract, and he will earn £2.5 million for 4 months' work, which isn't bad. Down at Portsmouth, Sven-Göran Eriksson is in line. Should Mexico lose to the United States in their World Cup qualifier in Colorado, then they expect our Sven to get the boot, not for the first time in his career, and he will tip up at Portsmouth. And speaking about Portsmouth, Tony Adams learned he was fired while he was celebrating his 5-year-old son's birthday at the weekend. They rang him at the party and told him. But when you consider his son's called Atticus, I think he deserves to be fired, and I think he deserves to be hauled up before the beak for cruelty to children. Atticus Adams. I'm surprised he lasted 16 weeks in that job.
I mean, I wonder what room in the house where his bedroom is. Quite possibly the attic.
Could be. Well done.
OK, before we hear from Salford City Reds, because, of course, they've got their Super League fixture at the weekend, any more stories in the paper should be aware of?
Just one, really. Like we say, Avram Grant will be named Portsmouth's new manager should Sven-Göran Eriksson's Mexico manage to beat the United States, which is highly unlikely. So the usual names in the frame, and for once it don't include Sam Allardyce.
No, it makes a nice change. OK, let's turn our attentions to the Reds, of course, taking on the Celtic Crusaders.
Yeah, Salford City Reds, as you say, take on the Celtic Crusaders on Saturday at the Willows, 6:30 kick-off. Yesterday they announced a new club captain. Sam Goodman went to meet him.
Rob Parker, captain of Salford City Reds, how does that sound for you?
I've not really said it myself or anything, but yeah, when someone else says it, it's definitely something to be proud of, and I certainly feel honoured to be captain. In many ways, want to emulate kind of the passion that Malcolm had and the commitment that he had, and hopefully I can do that with also just looking after my own performance, getting the lads all together and looking out for each other. And that's one thing that I've noticed so far, that at Salford everyone has looked out for each other, and we're a close group of players, and that's something that I want to be part of. So as long as we're looking out for each other and we're a team of consistency this year, then I think we'll go a long way.
OK, Mike, before we leave it this morning, what we got coming up tomorrow?
Peter Spencer, Evening News sports editor, is on with a special guest, Paul Hintz, who's just written a book, and he's the former Manchester Evening News chief sports writer.
Excellent. Well, Peter Spencer will be joining us from 6:30 tomorrow. And we always want to hear from you here on The Breakfast Show. Charlotte Miskell did that. She got in touch to tell us about her hometown of Burnley. So we wanted to find out what was so great about Burnley. So we sent our cameras along, and this is what we came up with.
Hi, I'm Charlotte and I'm 22 and I'm from Burnley. There's loads to do here, especially visiting our famous market hall, where you can get a black pudding for 65p. But remember to ask for either a lean one or a fat one, and this is a fat one. Burnley has lots to offer on a night out too, with plenty of bars which are free entry with cheap drinks and all the latest music. Perfect for a girls' night out.
It's quite a busy town centre. There's different bars for different people, different genres of music, and we are finding more and more people are coming out. The credit crunch doesn't really seem to have hit the town centre just yet. Only last week we had our busiest Saturday since we opened the bar.
This nightclubs, pubs, there's everything, You go to all the town, it's very quiet, so it's lively.
I think it's got most of the shops people want, plenty of banks, plenty of other sorts of shops and everything. Yeah, it's a good place. I always very rarely go anywhere else.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's just the atmosphere for shopping. It's a nice place. It's friendly.
I think shopping's good here, yeah.
I just think it's a really nice shopping centre. I think we have a lot to offer. I don't think we promote ourselves enough. We have Gawthorpe, we have Townley, we have a nice market.
Townley Park, Townley Hall. You can go inside and look round and have a nice drink and everything. Yeah, that's my favourite place.
There's shops, there's plenty of shops to go to. It's everything what we need.
No trip to Burnley is complete without visiting our football ground, Turf Moor. Burnley is one of the oldest clubs in the league and one of its founders. So what are you waiting for? Come down and visit us in Burnley.
We're worth looking at.